Nebraska wrapped up spring practice number 10 here on Saturday. Hi, Sean Callahan for HuskerOnline.com. Weather conditions once again forcing Nebraska inside. We had a chance, though, to talk to a number of the defensive coaches as well as several different players. But let's first start with defensive coordinator Erik Chinander on where things are at right now through 10.
No, we didn't have an install today on defense. We're just trying to clean things up today, get them to go faster, better communication, getting the sideline call to the actual formation, making the correct checks, making the correct calls, and just cleaning things up.
And as you look at this defense now through 10 practices, one of the players that really has had a solid spring for Nebraska is defensive back Dicaprio Bootle.
Just flying around and trying to get Dicaprio to just have the attitude of no fear of failure, get him moving. He got some really good skills in the back end, and you can put him a lot of different places. You can put him in the inside at nickel. You can put him in the outside at corner. Today, last play, he got a 1 rep of safety. So you can kind of put him. He tackles very well. I think he's very physical in the tackle for a corner. And we just got to get him to make more plays on the pass part.
Right now I'm just working at corner, but I know the safety calls and all that, so if I ever got to get thrown in that safety, I'll be able to function and all that. So
is that different this year? Kind of knowing more about the secondary.
Yeah, I definitely know more about our secondary right now, so that's good.
We also had a chance on Saturday to talk with outside linebackers coach Jovan Dewitt, who also will manage Nebraska's special teams, and he had on a number of different issues, including that battle at kicker.
I'm actually really happy. I am really pleased with what I've seen. Last year we didn't have a very good touchback percentage, actually probably one of the lowest ones around. We had a really good place kicker, but he wasn't very good at kicking the ball deep. So we were more target practice in terms of where we wanted to place the football from that standpoint. So I am really pleased, especially with our kickoffs. They've been dynamic throughout the course of spring ball to date. And our field goal, we haven't had as many field goal reps as we probably would like to have had yet because we were installing so much stuff. But those guys have done a really good job in terms of pre-practice, post-practice work in their kicks. So I'm pretty pleased with what we've got going on.
Is that a battle with Fromm and Pickering right now?
It's always a battle.
Because everyone assumes the scholarship guy has to be the guy, but how do you handle that?
Our program philosophy here is that whoever's the best is going to play. I'm going to be honest with you, some of the guys on our team, I'm not sure who's on scholarship, who's not. I don't really care because I'm just trying to evaluate who's got the ability yet. So
another interesting thing that Dewitt hit on, though, was some of the new special teams rules that are coming down, and one of the rules will allow any kickoff caught between the 1 and the 25-yard line to be fair caught, which automatically would put the ball on the 25.
I think it does change a lot of things. It takes a little bit of the old strategy out of the game where you're trying to get the ball to land on the 1 or the 2-yard line. So having just been presented with that yet, we haven't really fully figured out what kind of strategy we want to use. You have to change the type of kicks that you give now. Unless you're guaranteed with the kicker to be able to create a touchback, you may have to go maybe more now to a long, hard squib to force those guys to have to get into a return mentality. If you have a guy that can find the pockets, and now instead of telling your kicker to potentially boom it through the end zone, if he can't, which I think we're pretty fortunate in what we've got, you got to have a guy who's got some accuracy. So it kind of changes your philosophy a little bit of having a kickoff guy to a certain degree, no doubt.
What about the return philosophy? Does that change at all when a kid's got to decide right as the ball's coming whether it's going to catch it or first?
I think it's all going to depend upon personnel now. Right, so if you've got a really dynamic returner, you might tell him never to fair catch it and run the risk of getting a tackle on the 20, but also getting it out to a big, massive return. I think you got to look at who your personnel is now and then formulate a strategy off of that based upon their kicker skill set, whether it's a windy day, whether it's a clear, concise day, whether it's a bad weather day. Now your strategy really changes. And that was some of the things that we as a staff introduced last year based upon the wind and how the weather was going. If we were going to try to kick it deep, if we weren't going to kick it deep, if we were going to sky kick it. So all of that now becomes even a bigger factor in game calling.
The wind here will be a factor.
Yeah, I would think so as I'm learning, yeah.
Flipping over to the offense, we had a chance to also speak with running back Jaylin Bradley, who's had a solid spring.
I just got to work harder than everybody else. That's what Coach HOL was telling me. I got to work. He really wants me to push myself. So, I've been asking for extra reps, doing extra things in the weight room with Coach Duvall. So.
And when Bradley looks at this offensive system, he said it really is a good fit for him because there's some similarities to what he did in high school.
I like this offense a lot better than last year's, because this is one of the ones from my high school year I've kind of really excelled in. So I'm pretty glad Coach Frost came here.
And speaking of fits, a guy that's comfortable right now on the offensive line is Brendan Hymas, who now is over at his more natural position of left tackle.
I agree. That's what I played in high school, and last year when I played right, it was a little different, but I tried to help the team out any way that I could. And now I'm on the left side. I feel a lot better. So.
Does it come back quick when you move back over there?
Oh yeah, it comes back quick. All the techniques and stuff. It doesn't go away.
And finally, we caught up with linebackers coach Barrett Ruud, and he had done something pretty interesting just on recruiting at Nebraska, and when he looks at maybe the differences now to back when he was a high school player coming out in 2001.
People, 20 years ago didn't recruit Nebraska kids because they knew where they were going. I mean, there may have been one or two every 10 years that would leave, but I didn't get recruited. Nobody. Why would they go recruit me? I'm going to go to Nebraska, and once I'm committed, I didn't know what a decommitment was back then. You committed, you committed. Now, even if you do get committed somewhere, it doesn't really mean anything. It's a commitment for now. And I think now that there has been some kids leave Nebraska. I think other teams have taken their opportunity and come in here and recruited it harder than they used to too.
The Huskers are off on Sunday and Monday now. They'll come back for spring practice number 11 on Tuesday. Reporting with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.